Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture is titled Auroral Corona. So, what do we see here? Well, here we see an image of the aurora that was taken last year in March of 2025. And this is an example of an auroral display caused by a solar storm. So a great storm on the sun sending out charged particles toward Earth, and they strike Earth, funneling along the magnetic fields, and therefore hit near the north and south magnetic poles. So that means we see them as the northern lights, or aurora borealis, or the southern lights, for aurora australis, if we're looking in the southern hemisphere. And they tend to be very prominent in those very northerly and southerly regions, except when there is the largest storms, which will then occur. You'll sometimes see the auroral displays a little bit lower. Those particles strike atoms in Earth's upper atmosphere and give off distinct colors. And the colors can depend on the atoms and can also depend on where they are striking. So when you hit the oxygen atoms, we tend to get a green glow. But if you go a little bit higher, those same oxygen atoms will give off a distinct red color. And it's just the different transitions that occur within the electrons in that oxygen atom. And some are better off in the higher areas where the oxygen is not as dense and therefore gives off transitions that you would not otherwise see. Now, 2025 was a very prominent year for auroral displays because the sun was unusually active. We were at the peak of the cycle, and that is likely to continue into 2026. So we will likely this year be seeing far more aurora as well than usual. And then over the next few years, the auroral activity will tend to decline. That means that the solar activity has declined, and the sun does have activity that peaks in an 11-year cycle. So we get a couple of years at a peak, then it declines, and it will be very low, and we'll see very little auroral activity, and won't see near as many prominent aurora at that point as we're seeing right now. So when we get some of those bigger storms, sometimes we see the aurora even farther south, and those in more temperate regions sometimes get to see a nice auroral display when there is a very large solar storm. So here we see one from March of 2025, actually near the equinox, when a large auroral display was visible over Iceland that gave us our image that we'll take a look at for today. So that was our picture of the day, titled Auroral Corona. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be solar sailing. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.